Yeah, love how you move.
All around the world.
I wanna take you to Art Basel, some shit like that.
All around the world. Boys stare, girls swirl.
Huh.
Damn, you trigger happy.
Bang, bang.
So happy.
The primary purpose of the CAF podcast is to express
Got your foot all
platform for
over the
creatives to express their personal views or opinions without restriction or censorship. All views or opinions expressed during the CAF podcast are solely those of individuals expressing such views or opinions and does not reflect the views of the CAF podcast.
You got
It's the
you could just put it over here.
okay.
Yeah. Like is a place right there. Yeah, no food more important than a person. So, all right, here we go. 40/40 episode, or excuse me, 40/40 series, Cal Podcast, man. We back with another episode. First of all, Happy New Year to all everybody tuning in. It's 2025, so we still on our grown up 40/40 series, and the guest I got today, 1, she's a mother. 2, entrepreneur. 3, she graduated from Main Street.
Andrew Jackson, the best high school in Duval County.
The name of it is called Andrew Jackson, but it's known as Main Street. And also, this lady, I want to say, probably for the last 5 years, have probably seen me topless more than anybody, any female in the world, because she's also a massage therapist. So we want to welcome to the CAF, the one and only Miss Tiffany Baldwin.
How you doing? Having a good day today?
I am.
That's good.
I am. Kind of started off a little shaky because I don't do the cold weather, but it is what it is.
Yeah, well, it's warm in here, so.
So, it is. The first question that we ask Tiffany, we always ask this, is, and we stole this from Charlemagne the God, how is your mental health?
My mental health is up and down, but I know how to, cope with life.
Mm-hmm.
So even on my bad days, I have good days.
Gotcha.
So
That's good to hear, because the reason why we asked that question is because also during the pandemic, because I told you this started during the pandemic, there was Miss USA, she was a black woman, she committed suicide. There was Miss Alabama, she was a black woman, she committed suicide. And then there was it was a cheerleader from Southern University, a black girl, she committed suicide. So I'm asking myself, why all of these, and I hope I don't sound shallow, all these beautiful black women committing suicide? So that's why when I ask black women their mental health, I really want to know, because those are 3 I know. It's probably more that I don't know.
yeah. Well, I mean, one of the issues that we have as black women is that we're criticized so much. There's a lot in the media that we feel we have to compete with. And if you don't love yourself, how can you love anybody else? So it always boils down to self-love and what we allow society to put on us and what we accept from society.
Okay.
So
That's good. Yeah, you never heard that answer before. Yeah, that's the first. And then the next question, I had to switch it up because I used to ask, do you have this? But now I have to ask, well, in the state of Florida, it is legal, but do you have something to protect yourself, and are you licensed? But you don't really need a license in Florida.
no, and no, I don't.
Why?
But for one, I don't trust myself with any type of weapons. That's first thing. Second thing is, I feel like I'm divinely protected.
Okay.
So if something's gonna happen to me in my life, it's gonna happen to me. There's really nothing you can do to stop it. All I can do is make sure I stay vigilant, I know my surroundings, and I de-escalate, situations as much as I can.
Okay, so I'm gonna need you to get a taser.
I had one, I shot myself.
Still, I need you to get a taser.
So I just...
I understand that the other one I get, but at least get you a taser.
Okay.
Even if even if somebody get too close, just the sound At least get you about 30 seconds to get away.
Yeah. I mean, like, our keys are weapons, you know.
Yeah, I need to talk. I need to get
all that is weapons. So if you know how to use them properly, I mean,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I took self-defense class. I have to with my job.
Okay.
So
still want you to do
it. Yeah.
Now that question, the reason I asked that question also during the pandemic, I didn't see white, I didn't see Latino, I didn't see Russian, whatever you could think of. All I saw was black women getting attacked. And on the ring counts, it was even crazy because I then started thinking, well, how many other women been attacked before they got ring count? One, if it wasn't for her dog, that man would have got her.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know. I've been through so much in my life. I feel like it is what it is. If it's my time, it's my time. Okay. Yeah, I don't even walk, like I said, I stay vigilant. I pay attention to my surroundings. I don't be in places I know I don't have no business being. And, you know, I don't bother nobody. You know what I'm saying? I know that that's not going to 100% protect you. Mm-hmm. But at this point, it's kind of like 50-50, you know? Double-edged sword.
I know. I'm going to make sure you get a taste.
Okay.
I'm going to make sure that. Okay. But, Tiffany, the reason why we brought you here is because our 40-40 series, we're dealing with people who's either getting close to 40 or he is 40 and just dealing with the mindset because the things you used to do in your 20s and 30s, some of that stuff you don't do, or the stuff that you didn't respect or take it serious. Some nowadays you do. Like for me, I can say this: when I was younger, I could eat whatever I want. Now, I still work out, but I can't eat pizza 24/7.
Right.
So that's why we got you. So the first question I'm asking, Tiffany, what is something that you now take? What is something in your 20s you took for granted, but you don't now?
My mind, I guess, because when I was in my 20s, I was a hothead. I was a little, I don't know, like it took nothing to set me off.
You did go to Jackson.
But that wasn't the reason though. But I mean, I had to learn how to pick my battles and not allow people to control my emotions. So in my 30s, about to be 40, I think like my mind, my peace, everything that's around me is controlled by me. You know, even in health-wise too, because you know, like you said, when you're young, you eat, do whatever you want. But then you get older and it's nothing. I played sports growing up, everything. I used to go out there, play 10 hours a day, come home, you know, go to class, come back, do the same thing. I can't even barely get out of bed sometimes because I didn't take care of my body, you know. So that's another thing that I pay attention to is my health, like diet, exercise, try to stay active as much as I can.
Mm-hmm. Now, what is something now, because as a mother, what is something that, like, well, let me start here first. When did you have your baby?
At 24.
And how did life change after that?
Again, like my mindset changed because now you got a whole human you got to take care of. Mm-hmm. So when you have something to lose, everything around you starts to look different. It's like you have something you want to protect. So that was like the thing that changed for me the most.
Golly, you just killed. Okay, now I don't mean to cut you off because literally every mother that I always ask what their mindset, they never say when I find out I'm pregnant or I'm about to have a baby, love never entered their mind. Protection. Like you like the seventh woman who done said.
But that's part of love though.
Like, but like it's not like what.
Because you don't like think about it. Why would you protect something you don't care about? I mean, why would you protect something you don't love? If I didn't love my child, I wouldn't try to protect that child. Yeah, but love never, like, they never say love first. I get what you're saying. And, well, I mean, you gotta think about, we as women, we're on survival mode more than men are because we're more vulnerable. So I have a girl. Mm-hmm. So the first thing in my head is teach her how to protect herself. Give her the protection that I didn't receive when I was young. Mm-hmm. So that's where that comes from. And that protection comes from that love. Because if we didn't care about our child, then we wouldn't care about protecting them.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but nurturing, all that, I've never heard those words. It was always protect my baby. And I get what you're saying. You protect it because you love it, but it's just like the words love never pop out first.
Because we don't, again, when you carry something, for 9 months or however long you have that baby inside of you, you're protecting it the entire time. You know that baby is safe. You know that baby's not going nowhere. As soon as that baby enters the world, it's a whole different story. So many other things that you got to think about. So love is there. We love our children. Like, that's instant. Like, the time we find out they're pregnant, that love is there. So I guess we don't feel the need to say, oh, love, because that to us is understood. So.
Gotcha. So, where you at right now? Did you see yourself being here?
No.
What was on your mind back then?
Just surviving, living to see the next day, make sure I got food, eat, things like that.
So you didn't like entrepreneurship, being a massage therapist?
Oh, so being a massage therapist, this year makes 20 years. So, yeah, literally 2 weeks after I graduated high school, I was in massage school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so being a massage therapist was just a stepping stone. I thought I was going to be in like sports medicine, physical therapy, something like that. Never thought in a million years I would own a business because I'm kind of lazy. I don't really like to, I work smarter, not harder. Mm-hmm. So the thought of being, in my 20s, young, oh yeah, I'm going to own a business. No. Ooh, I ain't want to do that. I got pushed into owning my own business out of necessity. And because of that necessity, I created something where I was able to provide for myself, whether I was in a relationship or not. Me and my daughter was always going to be taken care of.
So that push, was it something that like it came out of nowhere? You were like, you know what, I gotta make this move.
So this is my third time trying to start a massage business. Mm-hmm. So first time I did it because people kept saying, oh, you need to do a business, you'll make more money. Didn't know what I was doing. Mm-hmm. Last of the month. Second time, I did like a mobile business. So technically, the second time kind of pushed me into where I'm at now. Because I feel like this whole catch these hands, all that stuff, like that's been my slogan since 2015. So I've literally been in business since 2015. So 10 years I've been doing Tiffany B massage therapy. Mm-hmm. And it's merged from being a mobile business to renting a space from somebody to having my own office space. So, and then I worked in chiropractic, physical therapy, wellness, all of that stuff. So everything that I've learned along the way, I brought it into my business.
So, because I'm going back to the twins and then going there, mm-hmm. I can speak for me. Entrepreneur spirit, I didn't know I had it. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking 9 to 5 or salary. So when did you know like this entrepreneurship, like this is the best thing for me? Because you got some people who still who can do stuff, or who charge people to work, but they like, I just don't know if I can sustain it to pay bills and take care of me.
I mean, honestly, so when I did my mobile business, that kind of made me feel more independent. I've always been a hustler. Like, I've always had side jobs, other stuff that I've done along the way. So just doing massage on the side on top of working in the chiropractor's office, it was nothing for me. Mm-hmm. But eventually, it got to the point where I got tired of working with other people, being in unfair situations, and not being able to do what I want to do. So I went from working for a chiropractor to renting a space from the chiropractor. Mm-hmm. So I did that part-time and then did the chiropractor full-time. Then I did chiropractic part-time and then did my business full-time. So that's how I kind of got pushed into 100% being on my own. And then the contract I had at a chiropractor's office, they suspended my contract in 2020. We had a little disagreement, and I told her, basically, I pay you to be here. Like, I'm not to be here, but I pay you to be in your office, not the other way around, because I'm a contracted worker. Mm-hmm. So she didn't really understand my vision, which it's okay. She's not a bad person. It's just we didn't work out. So in 2020, I used the extra money I had and opened up my own office, and I've been there ever since.
40 series here, Cal Podcast, man, with Miss Tiffany Baldwin. We're still going, we're still talking. Now, because I ain't going to stay on that too long, but I do wanted to hit one more topic with that. What is something that now you're doing where you was like, I wish I would have started way early? And did you have the mindset to, even if you did start, would you have the mindset to either sustain it or have the drive to wake up every morning and do it?
Let's see. I think being more social and networking with people, being able to talk and speak. 20 years ago, but 10 years ago, I wouldn't be on a podcast talking to nobody. I would not be behind the camera. I was like very introverted, didn't really like people. So I think if I was able to come out of my shell a little bit more and allow myself to get to know people and allow people to get to know me, I would have been able to push myself further at a younger age. But then again, with knowledge comes power. And when you're young and you don't know how to take that knowledge and you get this, like, you get put in these positions of power, you misuse it. So I think if I was in a position where I am now, back then, yeah, I would have definitely abused it because it's too much freedom. So I had to learn certain life lessons first. Then I can be where I'm at now.
Yeah, all introverts, we like that.
Yeah, so.
I don't like that, but what I do, I have no choice. It's crazy, ain't it?
Right, but it's good because you're good at what you do, right? You're good at talking to people, good at connecting with people, just like I am. You know what I'm saying? It started out with just talking to people on a massage table to I do self-help classes. Like I teach people how to journal. I'm a mental health astrologer, so I teach people about astrology.
This is why we bring people on the podcast, learn something new every day. Didn't know none of this.
I do motivational speaking.
See?
You know, I mentor children. I've been doing that since I was young. You know, it's so many things that I do that I don't talk about unless I'm in, like, unless it's, you know, I'm in that space. So if someone contacts me and say, hey, I need you to come speak, you know, to a group of kids about, you know, just growing up in the neighborhood you grew up in and being in the experiences you've been in, and, you know, letting them know that life goes on. You know, it's not where you start, but where you go. I've done that. I had a whole business organization where I was the host of a networking business organization. We met every Sunday, every first Sunday of the month. Did that for like 2 years. There's so many things that I've done that to me is just like, okay, but I don't really speak on it because I don't ever want people to think I'm boasting or I'm trying to like pat my own back. So
and this is why I started the podcast, because I said it's some dope ass individuals, some dope individuals out there that we don't know. All I knew was mother, massage therapist. That's it.
Yeah.
Motivational speaker, didn't know that. Mental health therapist, didn't know that.
Well, not therapist. I'm not a therapist. I do astrology. It's totally different.
Okay, mental health astrology.
Yes.
Didn't know that.
Yes.
And that's why I'm glad I do this, because I get to talk to people and learn something different. Because if they would have asked me about you, I'd be like, yes, she's just a masseuse.
Yeah, I mean, that's what most people know me as. Massage therapist, not masseuse.
What's the difference?
So masseuse is kind of like a derogatory term towards massage therapists.
Really?
Yes, because
I've been telling everybody I got my masseuse on the podcast.
I know, and I don't, like, I correct people sometimes, but I know it's not meant in a bad, like, you don't know.
Right. Yeah.
So, and I do medical massage too, so I'm not like, you know, I'm not just like a spa person, because people say, oh, you just rub people. No, I work in, like, what I do, actually, I do assessments. I know how to stretch and heal people. I know what muscles, like, I also tutor. So I tutor in anatomy and physiology and health sciences too. So I know a lot about the body and how it functions and how to keep the body healthy. So when people say masseuse, they're usually talking about like some Asian place or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of places where people do a lot of inappropriate things.
Yes,
and when you ask for a masseuse, 9 times out of 10, that's what you're getting.
Gotcha.
Versus a therapist. Because I have a medical license. So, you know, I try to make sure that it's being used.
Once again, learn something new every day, because man, I told people for weeks, yeah, man, I got my masseuse, not knowing that the masseuse is like the prostitute.
It's like the back door, like, hey.
So all these Chinese places, these are masseuses.
Right, so it's, some massage therapists, they don't really care to be called one or the other, because a lot of people feel like, oh, it's not what they call you, it's what you do. But for me, I went to school. I got my license. I keep my license up. I have an establishment license. So not only do I have a medical massage license, I also have a medical establishment license through massage. So all of that for me is an accomplishment, and I feel like I don't want it downgraded to be something that it's not.
So to all the fellas out there, when you say you're going to masseuse, we know you're cheating. So let's just go ahead and throw that out there. So when you say I'm going to masseuse, I already know in my mind, $50, no, $40.
Oh.
$40, I know what you're doing. So, and I'm going to stop saying masseuse too, because I've been saying, yeah, I'm finna see my masseuse. Who knows what they've been thinking about me, because I've been saying that about you for about 5 years.
Well, they know me. Nobody ever can say that Tiffany B did anything, because, no. I don't work like that.
You know the crazy, you let me get through the intro with it, because I said my masseuse. Then I said you done seen my body more than anybody too.
And I was like, I was gonna say something, but then I was like, I don't know.
Like you, yeah. What we were like 20 minutes into that, and I found out about this. You know what? It is what it is. We learning on the go. We heard that 4046 here with the Cattle Podcast with Tiffany Baldwin, my massage therapist, not masseuse. So, yeah. See all that information. Never would have knew.
Yeah, well, that's why these conversations are important.
On my phone, because I got to change that word in that too. Let me keep going. All right. So, like, look. Well, they would have went to my son, oh, Tiffany, you're masseuse.
Yeah.
What, you finna go get a rub down? Yep.
But if you come to me, they know that's not happening. Because they
but I'm talking about like,
I don't do that, so it's never been a question.
A massage therapist. I'm gonna change that right now. Why we live and everything? Just want to get that out the way. All right. Now, I'm gonna go back to motherhood, and then I'm gonna keep it moving. So, as a mother, waking up, doing what you gotta do, taking care of your baby, entrepreneur lifestyle. How's that on a day-to-day basis? Because I know you're gonna do the right thing, but do you have to make them hard decisions where it's like, today I can't do this because I gotta do that?
Always. There's like, it's always kind of a clash of time, I would say. Now, during the school year, it's a little bit more hectic because I gotta make sure she's at school on time, and then I gotta make sure, you know, when she get out of school, she's taken care of, wherever she's gonna be, whatever's going on. Certain job opportunities or contracts I can't accept because of that. Mm-hmm. You know, and then it's like, so me and her dad, we have 50-50 custody. So he usually have her when I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a lot of support in that way. Just like my parents and his family, like everybody kind of work together to make sure that she's good. So I don't have a whole lot of like stress when it comes to my daughter in that way. Is it a time where you like go to the family like, hey, can y'all do this? Because I got a contract that can pay me this, or just like, let me not even try to involve them? Because when you said, I'm like, certain sacrifices, like maybe you can't pick her up for like a month, but the reason why is because you're bringing in this. That happens all the time. So my family, my ex-husband, like they're all very good at being supportive of my daughter. Okay. So I know it's very rarely do I have a situation where there's nobody, like, cause I have friends, like I have such a like support like my family and my friends, my support, everything is so strong around me. Mm-hmm. So it's never a time where or even like we don't go without what we need to do. As far as like what I do sacrifice is I don't want to spend too much time away from my daughter. So when she was younger and I first started my business, I was gone a lot, and she expressed to me that she was missing me. She felt like, you know, I put my work before her. And I'm like, you know, I'm a single parent. I got to get the money when it comes. Mm-hmm. So time management was something that was really difficult for me in the beginning, because in my brain, work is work. Whenever it comes, you get it.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, I like, living the life I live. I like having all this stuff, but where are you? And my mom, she kind of explained to me that it's not about buying gifts and presents. It's more so about being present. So
how did that affect you hearing, like, my baby wants me around, but I'm doing stuff for my baby?
Right. Well, so I just had to explain it to her. And it was kind of difficult in the beginning because she was so young. Mm-hmm. So she didn't understand. She was just looking at me like,
where's my mom?
What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, my daughter is 13, so she was like 3 when I started my business. And for her, it's like, I see all my family, but I don't see you. Mm. But as she got older, she started to understand. But even now, I still be like, this is my time with my daughter, and that's it. Like, I don't sacrifice. I make time. I take time off. Whereas before, I just work straight through.
Gotcha. So now that she is getting to the age where boys, and she's starting to see developments in certain parts of her body, and she's starting to, I don't know, I ain't gonna put your daughter out there like looking on social media and stuff like that, but how are you now seeing that your baby, because I think she's about as tall as you.
She's tall. She's a little taller.
She's taller than you. Okay,
yeah.
We're gonna put that out there. She's taller than you, and I'm assuming she's, because I'm just gonna say that she is seeing that I am turning into be a young woman. So how are you now handling that situation?
Fortunately for me, my child does not want to really grow up. So it's good to a certain extent because I don't have to worry about her like being out there trying to do stuff. But she is very immature sometimes. So it's kind of hard to get her to understand that I appreciate that you're not trying to be too grown, but at the same time, responsibility is still there. So it's like learning how to balance the two between responsibility and still maintaining that childlike quality and not growing up too fast. So the only thing I can do because she's going to do what she want to do regardless. I can't stop her.
True.
So all I can do is be that guiding light. Tell her, like I used to hide like what happened to me in my life and things that I've done. I don't do that anymore because I don't want her to think I'm perfect. I don't want her to think that I don't understand. So she knows, okay, my mom's not perfect. She's been through this. She's been through that. I've been through that. I can talk to her. You know what I'm saying? She can talk to me.
Gotcha.
I also put women around my daughter that I trust that she can talk to outside of me. So if she can't tell me something, there's more than one person she can go to talk to them as well.
Gotcha. I just got to it's crazy. I just got to the level like that with my daddy.
Well, it's different. I mean, it's my parents same way. Like I didn't talk to my parents growing up.
I just when I was younger. So my dad smoked weed heavy. He smoked it around me. My mama hated it. It got to the point where I transferred from a private school to Reebok Middle, and I smelled weed. And I said the first thing I said, and my boy Nick, when he'll see this, he can vouch for me. The first thing I said, my daddy around.
That's crazy. So you had a culture shock. You went from being around a bunch of preppy.
No, I lived in the hood. Like all my cousins and them, like they went to Sally B. Mathis, Martin Luther King Elementary.
But it's different when you see it in school and you're not used to seeing it in school.
But I'm used to the environment. It's just the weed smell.
Yeah.
To be at a middle school, that was shocking. Like that, like Reebok, like my first year at Reebok Middle, everything that you see on TV, I saw it all.
I'm sure.
I heard stuff. It was a dude at our school. He had a tattoo on his neck. This is back in 2000. Like neck tattoos weren't even popular then.
Yeah.
Like Latrell Sprewell and Allen Iverson didn't have a neck tattoo then, but he did. This man had a bubble. He had a driver. He had to park his car at Reebok High because he couldn't park it at Reebok Middle.
Was he 16? How old was this boy?
16, 17.
Okay,
yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. Ask me what grade he was in. 7.
Probably, I would say probably 6 or 7. Yeah.
7. Didn't care.
Yeah,
but to see that, and then also on top of that, to see that dude messing with the girls that was there, like, my God, you almost a adult.
Yeah. I mean, I went to Matthew Gilbert.
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay. I mean, I went to Kirby, got kicked out of Kirby, went to Matthew Gilbert. So all the neighborhood kids, you know, we all went to either or. So I grew up out east. I done seen some of everything.
You know, my grandma made sure we went to private school. Like when I went to, we left private school. I went to Reebok Middle. I was literally the only person in my class who was writing in cursive.
I mean, I went to Andrew Robinson, so we learned about. I was in Magnet, advanced class, so I learned all of that
I
stuff.
was in Magnet.
Yeah.
They still didn't write in cursive, but I mean, but it was just, it was like that. My 8th grade year, whatever was on TV, I saw it. I saw it. To see a girl in my class, August, September, November, you're like, dang, she getting fat. No, she's not getting fat.
She was pregnant.
She was pregnant.
Yeah, I had to. It went to Europe with us.
Like, so it was just that like, yeah, but we here. We here. 40 series here, Cal Podcast. Also, let me say this, our sponsor, still ain't got the champagne yet because we do have a sponsor. Lydia Rue Southern Peach Champagne is sponsoring this whole series. Cheatham, we're still waiting on the champagne because now you owe me 2 bottles because she got to get her bottle. So, but that's our sponsor for this year. All right, now, I don't know if you want to say your age.
30. Well, I'll be 38 in February.
Gotcha. You're 38 in, what today is the 2nd? I'll be 38 in 12 days. Now, being married and then being divorced, how is that?
It's challenging like anything else because you got different personalities that don't really mesh well, but you still got to work together.
So when you first decided to get married, did you like, because you had to see something or felt something where it's like, this is my guy, and then something changed?
When I had my daughter, I think that's what changed the most. Because, well, so me and my ex-husband are kind of toxic for each other. Not that he's a bad person, but you ever be around somebody and y'all just bring out the worst in each other?
Yes.
So that's kind of like how I felt about that situation.
Okay.
And like growing up, I was always around like broken families. But my parents, even if they didn't really get along all the time, they've been married 41 years. So in my head, I was like, okay, when I decided, okay, we're going to get married, 2 weeks later, I found out I'm pregnant. So it was kind of like I wanted to give my daughter a family. So I tried it. And after, you know, when you hit a certain age, it's like everything in your brain kind of clicks. So because I had my daughter at 25 is one of those ages where you start to think different. You start to feel different. The things that you did in your early 20s, you think about it and it's like, dang, I can't go into 30 doing this. So the whole dysfunction with my ex-husband, I didn't want my daughter to grow up in that type of situation because we would have ended up in a situation where maybe one of us would have been in jail. We fought a lot, we argued a lot, and I didn't like that. I don't like her to see that, you know? So it was kind of like we got along better when we separated.
Okay.
We got along better when we didn't have to see each other every day.
Dang.
So, and I think because I was so young when we got together, that it was hard for him to see the growth that I had that was going on in me. And then for me being as young as I was, I dismissed a lot of things that he was doing that I knew I probably wasn't going to like. But when you be with someone for so long, those patterns start to happen. And once you have a pattern, it turns into a cycle. And that's the hardest thing to change. It's like a cycle. So for me to get out of that chaotic cycle, I had to leave.
He toxic for you, you toxic for him. When did y'all see each other in like love?
I mean, to a certain extent, we
I'm
always.
talking about like, cause you to say that you toxic for him and he toxic for you is like, was it ever like, I'm not gonna assume that. Did you ever just like, I love this person?
Yes, in the beginning, and I mean to a certain extent, you never lose love for somebody that you loved in the past, right? So, but again, as you get older, you grow, you change. There's things in your life that you no longer want to accept. And if a person's not willing to adhere to that change, what do? You sit there and be miserable, or do you move on with your life?
So you made the decision to move away, or just
I
like,
did.
okay.
Yeah. So I mean, in the beginning, it's it's good. You young. I was 19 when I met him. Young, you just living life, no responsibilities, nothing.
Never met Plush.
Huh?
Never met Plush.
No.
Just throwing that out there.
I did not. I didn't go to clubs that often when I was young. I did, like, I kind of lived the life that you would in your early 20s and my late 20s.
I was in these streets.
So when I got divorced, that's when I started, like, because everything was all about, it was all about, being married. Even though we weren't even married that long. We was together for a long time, for like 5 or 6 years before we even got married. So, the whole time I'm playing house, and then, when real bills started coming up, now I get pregnant, now we got this, we got that. A lot of stress will show you your relationship and if you're able to prevail or not. So the toxic behavior I'm speaking of comes out of stress, not out of hate.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it was just more so just being stressed out about. And then with my job, you gotta have a lot of trust. You can't.
Because you touching a lot of people,
Right.
men, women. I'm pretty sure, because I ain't want to hit it, but I'm going to hit on it now because it's probably he probably looking at one of your clients like, you in the room, y'all together, you just doing your job, but it's like, what really is going on in that room?
Right, and that's why you have to, like, one, know the person that you're with, know that you can trust that person, because anybody that know me, they know how I am. They know my personality, they know what I'm capable of, what I will not do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You've been my client for years. Never been an unprofessional moment. So it's never a time where I mix my personal life and my business life because it don't mesh. It don't work. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it crash and burn so many times to where I never even thought about it.
Gotcha. I know this off topic. I'm pretty sure you've been tried.
Of course. I mean, that happens all the time. In business, out of business, whatever. But how I prevent, like, again, in my business, I have to be the one that controls the situation. So when you come in my office, it's a professional setting. You fill out paperwork. You got rules and regulations you got to sign initial before I even touch you. Mm-hmm. So if you have anything in your head that you might be thinking that, oh, I'm going to see this and see that, you've already been warned numerous times before you even got on my table. So if you decide you want to still try something, then that's when I'm going to find a reason to leave, and I'm going to come back with somebody else. Because it's not going to happen.
Okay, because I know I've been asleep plenty of times, so I don't even know if something did go down. So, I catch them hands, Tiffany Baldwin. Make sure y'all follow it on Facebook. I don't know I'll let you do all that at the end. So, but getting back to going from being married, finding out this person I'm toxic for them, they toxic for me. Now we move on to divorce. Now, what is because when did you get divorced?
We split in 2013, got officially divorced 2017.
So now what is your mindset moving forward? Because now it's like, I got this girl, I got my baby, but I also got my business, but mama still need her time. So how's you moving to make sure somebody's there to hold Tiffany?
What, back then?
Yeah.
I did. It was work and child. That was pretty much it. I mean, sometimes I would, take time out for myself and I might hang out or whatever or do something. But the only time I ever did anything for me was when she was with her dad. And it was always her, then me. It was her, work, me. Or work, her, me. Like, I was never first. I never even thought about putting myself first until, like...
And I hate to hear that when women say that, like, because I'm like, if you're not in a good space, how you going to be in a good space for your baby? And I don't understand, because I'm not a woman. I'm not trying to be, don't ever want to be, do want to be with one. But it's like, if you're not taking care of you, how are you able to, like...
So I had to learn that, like, once I hit 30, that's when it changed for me. It was a lot of downhill spirals between that whole 28 to 30 year. I tried to move. I went to Tampa. I left my daughter here where her dad was like, I'm gonna come back on the weekends, you know, when she out of school. I'm relocating to Tampa after the school year. She coming with me. So I didn't want to take her out of school in the middle of the year, so we had an agreement. Mm-hmm. But when it came down to like the divorce and all that, it kind of got like, he didn't want to give up full custody to me. And then I thought about it. I was like, I don't want to take her away from her family. I'm not from here, from Georgia. So I grew up with just my siblings and my mom, my dad for the most part. So I know what it's like to kind of be taken away from your family because of whatever reason, relocate. So I thought about how I felt as a kid and how I didn't really have a lot of like support at first. Mm-hmm. So I didn't want to do that to her. And then I thought about me too. Like, I'm working. I get down there, I can't work as much because I have nobody to watch her. I can't trust nobody new, you know what I'm saying? I don't know these school systems. So it was difficult. It was a very difficult decision for me because I decided to move back. Mm-hmm. So I was only gone for like 5 months. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to come back. Mm-hmm. So I was here from Friday to Monday every week anyway with her. So I was like, I wasn't establishing nothing. I was just basically working there, driving back up here.
So what does Tiffany do now for herself? When there's a lot going on, what does Tiffany do now to make sure she maintains her peace?
So I schedule better. I make sure that I take time out for myself, and I'm very unapologetic about it. I really do not care what people say when I'm like, they're like, oh, every time I turn around, you're out of town. And it is.
Yeah, it is.
I work hard and I play even harder. I'm not even gonna sit here and pretend like I'm not gonna do stuff for myself. If I feel like I need a mental break and I want to get my car and just drive somewhere and stay there for a couple days, I will. If I feel like I want to go to the spa, get my feet done, whatever, that's what I'm gonna do. But I do it in respect of responsibility. I don't like leave my daughter without making sure she's taken care of first. And I just make sure I create a space to where everywhere I go is peace. My office, peace. My house is peace. Nothing I do is not attached to my own peace. So when I get criticized or when people try to tell me about how I should be as a mother, I take it in, but at the same time, I know what's for me and what's not. And I keep it moving. You know, I let people be who they are.
No, I like to hear it because, once again, doing this and talking to different women, it's always the kids. And I'll be like, that's cool, but just know they're going to grow up and do their own thing. So when they're gone, what is your mindset going to be then? Because you got literally mothers like, so the best example I give, I was talking to a young lady, she got 2 boys. And I'm trying to talk to her, be with her, but she keep telling me about her boys. So I had to literally tell her, like, look, tell me when you free. And I'll make that time work just to come be with you. And she still didn't want to try to hit her because all she cared about was her boys. Boys, 16, I think one just went out to the military, and it's like...
Well, I mean, if she's a single mother and she has no help, then it's kind of like...
No, the help I understand.
Yeah.
But it's like, if I'm willing to make time to be with you, don't that count for something?
It does, but at the same time, it goes back to that protection of her kids. That's going to always be in her head first. And protection means different things for different people. And I know people that have children and they literally don't do nothing for themselves until after their kids are either old enough to kind of take care of themselves or until they're out of the house. And it's like you said, it's not, healthy, but sometimes like they can't do anything else because it's just them. When you are solely the only person and you have multiple kids that you got to deal with, it's kind of like, I'm not going to leave my kids home by themselves so I can go do whatever. I'm not going to bring people around my kids because I don't know these people's intentions. So to keep my children in a good situation, I'm going to just chill, hold back until I can feel more comfortable. But for some women, like, it doesn't happen until they're older, you know. I was just talking to one of my clients today because she's an empty nester. All her kids are gone. And I asked her, I said, well, how does it feel? Because my daughter's 13. She'll be going to college. And part of me feels a relief, like, oh, I can finally breathe a little bit better. But the other part is like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do when your kids are gone?
That was literally, I want to say, I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about the way she moved. Her kids was like 90% of her life.
Yeah, and it sucks, but some people don't have a choice. That's just, it is what it is. Because if they don't take that child to football practice, who gonna take them? If they don't go and take them to the mall, get them clothes, who gonna take them? When that kid, even if you have one child, like people say, oh, you got one kid, it should be easy. Shouldn't be broke with one kid. Yeah, okay. You can't tell one kid to go play with your brothers and sisters. You got to be focused on that child and give them the attention they need because you're all they have. So when dealing with mothers, you have to understand you're going to be a good mother. A lot of times you're going to have to sacrifice for those kids too because that's what she's doing. Mm-hmm. And it's not that, you know, she wants to do that per se, but she don't really have a choice. So they just got to do what they got to do.
Mm-hmm. So now as you're getting close to 40, what are some things that you see in yourself that you now like, my mama used to do that?
Almost everything, really. I guess the main thing that my mom used to do that I used to like look at her weird was like when she would go in her room, close the door, and feel like she don't want to talk to nobody. And I used to feel like, well, dang, you can't stand it. Like, what's going on? But I understand the need for alone time and solitude. It doesn't mean that, you know, your parents love you any less. It's just that they need that time to themselves, you know. It's hard when you got a lot of kids and, you know, you like my parents, one worked at night, the other one worked during the day. So at any given moment, it was just one parent at home most of the time. So, you know, my mom had to get her rest. She's a teacher. You know, she got to make sure she's resting. My dad used to work overnight. So during the day, you know, we had to be quiet, get his rest so he could go to work. Otherwise, bills not get paid. So, but I mean, I just feel like I understand the need for having that alone time and being able to just be one, like talk to yourself, be able to talk to yourself and get an understanding of what's going on around you without outside interference.
Mm-hmm. So, how are you raising your daughter? Do you see, do you take stuff that your mama did, or do you like, I'm gonna raise my daughter this way because my mama didn't do that with me?
So some things I do different, some things I do the same.
Okay.
Like I do talk to my daughter a little bit more than my mom talked to me, but again, it wasn't because she didn't want to, it was the fact that she didn't have time to. So sometimes when I wanted attention, or when it's 5 of us growing up, whereas with me it's just my daughter. So sometimes as a kid you misconstrue attention, like you want attention but your parents can't give it to you, so you think, oh, they just don't like me or they just don't want to talk to me. But the fact is they got to spread their attention around. And then they also got to have time for, like my mom and my dad, they got to have time together too.
Yes, they do.
So it was...
They have time together.
Yeah, right. So as a kid, you don't understand that. So what I try to do with my daughter is talk to her. I try to have a conversation with my daughter every day. My daughter gets so tired of me. She stays tired of me.
But that's like something that you wish your mom would have did with you.
Right. Like, but it's just, she couldn't.
Gotcha.
You
No,
know
I'm not saying she couldn't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you wish my mom could at least gave me 12 minutes a day. Just
I was just selfish. I didn't want my mom talking to, like, who are them other kids? That was just how
Are you the oldest or the baby?
I'm the middle child. So
I was the baby.
I was the baby. So listen, I was the baby for
Baby
8
girl?
years. Yeah.
Okay.
For 8 years, I was a baby. And then my little sisters, they're twins. They were born. So I became the middle child, but also the oldest daughter. So I went from being a baby to the middle child to the oldest daughter.
Oh, you just...
So it was a lot for me to comprehend, even though I wanted sisters. Like, my parents joke around and be like, oh, we had all these kids because of you. Because I used to pray every day for a sister, and I got 2.
Did you leave them in the tub?
No, I didn't.
You play hide and go seek, and then...
I mean, I locked them in the house a couple times,
I knew
but,
it. Yeah.
I mean...
I knew it. I hear it in your voice. I hear it in your voice. As soon as you said the attention and, you know, your parents, you care about them other kids, you did something. You did something.
It was...
Let's play cops and robbers. Y'all gonna be the robbers and be the cops. Lock them up, put them in the closet. All right, we done right? Nope. Still playing cops and robbers 8 hours later.
I mean, they
Like
got fed, they had their clothes, they got fed,
giving them like, look, what's the Barbie cup, the house with the water and said, this y'all rations for the week.
Well, I mean, I couldn't do it for a week because obviously my parents would have came home eventually. But, yeah.
A lot of, shut up, don't tell them nothing.
Huh?
A lot of, shut up, don't snitch.
And they did it anyway. I used to get in trouble all the time.
Learning a lot about you today, girl. Learning a lot. Can't say masseuse.
I'm better now. Me and my siblings, we're all like close. I'm close to all my siblings.
They got trauma.
But we ain't talk about what they did to me though.
I mean, I can only speak to whoever's on the couch.
Okay, well.
So we'll invite them on and we can do a group setting and y'all can spill it out. I mean, I'm just gonna be here to listen. I don't do therapy good.
No, I prefer not.
Cause I mean, as long as you made it till you made it. I really could care less. I'm just here for a good conversation.
I got you. And we don't need them.
Okay. All right. Keep it in moving. All right. Now you did say something. I don't know if what you want to discuss. If you want to discuss it, but you said it was stuff that did happen to you. How did that affect you now to where how did it affect your mindset to where you're at now? If you don't want to talk about it, we can keep moving. If you do,
So, like, in what stage in my life are you talking about?
Let's go back to 18.
18?
18, because that's when everybody started being a little adult.
Well, I mean, 18, nothing actually, like, I didn't have any traumatic experiences at 18. But I will say, was it 20? I was in a house fire. It was really bad.
Ooh.
I was burnt all over. Like, my face, 2nd and 3rd degree burns. Like, arm from here to here. I was in burn center for like 3 days or a week or whatever. It's terrible. But what it made me like learn is that vanity isn't everything. So I grew up.
Say that again.
Vanity is not everything. I grew up kind of like bullied a little bit and talked about. So I never really felt pretty. Like I always felt like, you know, old people thought I was cute, but young people, I never really, like when someone would say something nice, I was like, what you want? Like, why you, like, it was always on guard. And then when that happened, I was like, well, there's going to be even more attention on me. But I had to learn that it's not necessarily what you look like, because people that care about you, they're going to care about you regardless.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? My face, I had pink face and all that. It was bad. And, you know, watching strangers, where strangers used to always compliment me, now they're looking like, oh, hey, what's wrong with her? Like, you know, I didn't have a car, so I had to catch the bus on public transportation. And in this, like, space where I just really don't like myself. But what I learned, I've always had a fighting spirit. So even though I didn't really care for my appearance, it never stopped me from keep going. Because in my head, I was like, okay, well, if this is how I'm going to look for the rest of my life, I'm just going to go ahead and accept it. I'm going to do what I can to take care of myself so that way, you know, it doesn't get worse.
Okay.
But eventually, like, everything healed up and you can't even tell.
Well, plus, N-words really don't kill.
Oh, well, I mean, I didn't know that. So, and when you know, I was like 20, 21, something like that. So, to me, my life was just beginning. But then, and it's like when you have a near-death experience like that, it's weird because you don't really, like, I can remember it, but I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just moving so fast, your adrenaline is up, and after everything is said and done, you be looking like, I can't believe this, like, it just really just happened. So a lot of it you black out because of the trauma. You don't want that trauma to continue to carry you, but it made me understand that it's not, like, I don't have to constantly worry about what other people see, but it's more so about what I see, what I want, what I need. So it helped me to keep going and to weed out people who weren't supposed to be there. Because people, when you go through tragedy, people start to treat you different. They start to do different things. So it gives you that idea of, okay, this is who I need in my life and this is who I don't need in my life.
After that, did you discover who you was, or was like, that further down?
I still ain't know. I'm still discovering who I am. Who we are changed so much. So, I mean, at that point, I guess I did progress and I did have a revolution about myself. But as you go through life, like every stage, every time something happens or every time you got to deal with a difficult situation, you come out of that a different person.
Gotcha. So, when did Tiffany, now in 2025, when did Tiffany realize, like, I can't be, what's the word I'm looking for? I was gonna say introverted, but I would say that. Well, let me go back. I'm gonna say that. When did Tiffany realize, like, I can't be Tiffany that I know of. I gotta be.
So I need to come out my box.
Yeah.
When did I find my voice?
Right, to do the mental astrology.
So, okay.
To speak to the people counseling, to get out there, to say, hey, come catch these hands. Like, when did that Tiffany literally show up?
In 2016, I found out I was pregnant with my second child. But it was an ectopic pregnancy.
What is that?
It wasn't in the uterus, it was on the outside of the uterus.
Okay.
So, and it wasn't in a tube. Normally it's like in your tubes, they just take your tubes out, whatever. Well, because of where mine was at, it was very deadly. So they had to do a full hysterectomy.
Ooh.
So not only did I lose a child, I lost the ability to have kids ever again. Okay. So because of that, I kept quiet for a very, very long time. Like, I didn't even tell my daughter. Like, my daughter didn't know until 3 years later that I had that happen to me. And
3 years. So, at 10, she fully understood all that? Because I know I wouldn't.
I didn't. Like, so one thing about my daughter, she's like, her brain is well above what you would think. So, and because we've always had conversations, we've always talked, I know how to talk to her in a way for her to understand. Yes. Now, as being technical and going into details, no, like, I didn't do that. But I did tell her eventually what happened. And she was just like, oh, that's why you were out of work all that time, and why I couldn't come around and you couldn't really get out of bed. And she was like, even though, like, a lot of family members, they didn't know what happened to me. It was one of those things where I didn't want to talk about it. Gotcha. So when I finally, like, what made me speak about it was I had a client and she was on my table. And normally I don't really talk to people unless they talk to me or if they give me an indication they want to talk. So she started talking about things that she had going on, and she was talking about what she experienced, and she felt like she was the only one that had that experience. And I was like, well, that actually happened to me 5 years ago or 3 years ago. And that's what made me start talking, because I learned that my voice is also a part of the healing process. By me talking to others about what I experienced, it's healing me and it's healing them. So it's just positive energy going back and forth.
And Tiffany, that is the main reason why I started this project, because it's somebody out there, I don't know, you don't know, that's going to watch this, and they not going to believe that you been through that, and they're going to say, if Tiffany can make it, I can make it. That's the main reason I did, to hear something like, because I never would have known this about you. Once again, I'm just still calling you masseuse. Not supposed to call her masseuse. But just to hear this and then hear you go through that and then hear like somebody who your regular client, they paying you to work on their body, to literally, whether it's deep tissue or just to make them feel better. You made her feel better with your words.
Yeah.
Like that's the main reason why I do this. Just to hit like somebody out there need this, and we don't know who, but that's like this has been what I had in mind about you.
Oh yeah.
Like what you was gonna talk about.
So what you thought I was gonna talk about?
I don't know. That's the thing. That's like I had like the you see me got my paper. I got a question, but there's no point even asking. This is way more important than this.
Yeah.
This is me making up stuff, trying to get in deep conversation when the whole time, shit, you done lived it.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of experiences in my life. I've been through, even from early, like at 8, like there's things that a lot of people would say, how are you here? Like, how are you still functioning?
Literally.
And then people are like, oh, you're so, what did the girl tell me? She told me I was unlucky. She said, you're so unfortunate. And I said, I feel like I'm blessed because the things that could have killed me didn't. The things that should have killed me didn't. I feel like, not invincible, but I feel like until my purpose is fulfilled, no matter what you come at me with, it's not going to work.
Like, it was another lady who, I think it was in, I want to say Kentucky or Tennessee. She committed suicide because she realized she couldn't have more kids than the man she with. She killed them, then committed suicide because she couldn't have more kids than the man she with wanted more kids, and he went outside of them to have another child.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean,
here you are, can't have it, but you didn't do the most. You just kept living.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like that's just been my life. It's just keep going, just keep living, keep like a door. What is it? Find a door, or whatever. Just keep swimming. That's kind of like how my life has always been. It's kind of like you hit a roadblock, and anytime you're on this path of life, like I don't believe that there's a right or wrong path. I feel like whichever direction you go is the way you're meant to go. So if you learn the lessons you're supposed to learn, then you have less bumps along the way. But if you have more lessons, then you got to keep going.
Keep swimming.
Right. So once you get to that point where you reach that goal, you reach that point where you finally achieve that, you open another door, you right back at the beginning again. So we live and we die and rebirth ourselves over and over through our life. So once I accomplish something, it's like I don't want to. I can't stay there. Stagnation. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And in nature, when things don't grow, they die.
Yeah.
And in order to grow, what do you have to do?
No, I'm listening to you.
Change.
I'm listening to you.
You have to change. You cannot grow if you're not willing to change. So as you're moving through life, you accept those changes. You accept that growth. You let go of things that no longer serve that purpose. So once you go into that room and it's empty and you have to fill it with new things, you can't if you got a lot of baggage or a lot of stuff from your past. So the things that are meant to follow you, they will. But as people, we hate that change. We hate that growth process because it's hard. So once you let that go, you let go of the baggage, you're able to move quicker, you're able to move faster, you can get to your goal a lot quicker and more efficiently, you know. Mm-hmm. But if it's like climbing a mountain, you bring your whole house, you ain't never gonna get there.
Cal Podcast 4040 series, man. We got Miss Tiffany Baldwin here, aka my massage therapist, no longer the other word. It's a curse word. All right, so this is the part where we're gonna get to our Cal Podcast questions, and Brittany, I'm probably gonna have to ask you to close that door because you know how these questions go. I might need you to close that door or give us some headphones.
I need your restroom.
Go ahead. You're not gonna pause it.
subscribe button too if you want to see more podcasts from Florida. Go follow our main man, Florida. Don't play with it.
Shout out to Florida.
Yeah,
Shout out to
shout out,
Florida.
huge shout out to Florida, man. Thank you for having
Thank
me
you.
on. Yeah, I
Our
had fun.
podcast questions. It's 14. No, we're gonna do 13 questions. Some gonna be true or false. Some gonna be fill in the blank. But if you try to play us on the answer, we will be on this bitch all night until we get the answer. All right. First question: love or money?
Love.
Financial literacy or health literacy?
Oof. Health.
All right, you can pick 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, but you can't pick all 3. T-shirt and panties, lingerie, or nothing at all.
Probably nothing.
All right. How important is love in a relationship to you in 2025?
Extremely important.
Do you think people are looking for love in a relationship in
Say
2025?
50-50.
50-50. All right. What is something that you tried to change with anybody or in your life, but you end up accepting it for what it is? What is something that you try to change, whether with a person or something personal, that you try to change, but end up accepting it for what it is?
I guess like the relationship between my family members.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go to this side. All right. Now this question is real detailed, and we're gonna find out more about you. Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast?
Beauty and the Beast.
Everybody really picking on. All right. If you had to go back to your very first time, and I mean your very first time, if you could tell yourself something, what would it be?
Don't do it.
What is something that you dislike in your 20s but love now?
It's like in my 20s, I love now. I would say that's hard. I don't know. I didn't really change that much with that. I guess like nature trails, going like outside.
Okay. Let's do this. Let's go. What song describes your 20s to you?
So I guess like in my early 20s.
What song? If you had to put a song to that title, what would it be to your 20s?
Well, my early 20s would have been Every Day I'm Hustling.
30s.
30s. What's that? It's like this Hawaiian song. This big Hawaiian dude singing. I can't think of the name of it, but he plays a ukulele. What is that man's name?
I can't think. I don't even know what you're talking.
It's this Hawaiian dude. It's this Hawaiian dude. He plays the ukulele, and he died not long ago. But he sang. I don't have my phone. I can't Google it. But Google it. Google the song.
Okay, we'll just get moving. All right. How important is good sex?
I'd say on a scale from 1 to 10, like a 7 or 8.
In 2024, did you get all the sex that you wanted?
Yeah, I guess.
Yes or guess?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. At this moment, where did you see yourself, at this moment, did you see yourself in the position that you're in today?
Wait, what was the question?
At this moment, back I meant to say when you was younger, did you picture yourself in the position that you're in today?
No.
What did you see for yourself as you're getting close to going into your 40s? What is something that you was like, that's going to be me going into my 40s?
Oh, I wanted to retire at 40.
Definitely. All right. I think you said it, but I'm gonna switch it because you say you still discovering who you are. But have you tapped into your full potential yet?
Yes and no. I think like at the stage I was in, I completed it, but I'm in a new phase, so I'm still working on it.
Tiffany, is it the size or the motion in the ocean?
I don't have a preference. I don't either or, I guess.
Okay.
I feel like as long as you know what you're doing.
And then the last question is the Cal Podcast question, which I'm looking forward to hear. Who has the better pancakes, Cracker Barrel or Whataburger?
I'm not a fan of pancakes. I don't even think I've ever had Whataburger pancakes. At Cracker Barrel, I usually get waffles.
That's a masseuse question. All right. Well, Tiffany, this is a part of the show where we give you the flow, where you can say what you want to say, promote what you want to promote, let the people know where they can find you. The floor is yours.
I am Tiffany B, the massage therapist. My business name is Tiffany B Massage Therapy. # catch these hands. My Instagram is Tiffany TIFFANY_BEELMT. Tiffany B on Facebook if you want to reach me. My business phone number is 904-513-0453 if you want to schedule an appointment. I appreciate the opportunity to come on this podcast to give everyone a better idea of who I am and what I do, my experiences I've had in life, and I appreciate AJ for giving me this platform to express myself. So thank you.
So, I'm all out the picture.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm afraid no more.
Okay, so let me do this. Back it back up because I zoomed in on you.
Oh.
It's all good. That's why we edit.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna have to probably get you another gift because the gift was supposed to be the champagne, but Cheatham, who's sponsoring this, Lily Rouge Southern Peach Champagne, still hasn't got here. So I'm gonna give you another gift for being on. I really do appreciate this, Tiffany. I learned a lot about you. You're just not a massage therapist. Can't say the other word. That's a curse word. But I really do appreciate it because I'm so serious because it's somebody out there who went through something that you went through and they figure out how can I make it, and they're like, if you can make it, I can make it. I don't know who you're gonna motivate, but we just put it out there, and if whoever it bless, let it bless them. So I do appreciate you getting on. Shout out to Brittany who let me record here at the museum. And also, y'all look out for season 9 of the Cal Podcast. I think this episode will be episode 3, which means I got 37 more to go. So, yeah, I'm doing a 40-40 series, and I'm talking to people who, once again, either close to 40 or in their 40s, and I'm going to drop 40 episodes in 40 days.
Okay.
So, your number, I'm gonna say number 3 right now, but I'm hoping to be done with this at least by January the 20th.
No, yeah. No. You can do it.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. So, once again, Brittany, thank you for, Tiffany.
I mean, it rhymes.
Tiffany, Brittany's in there. Brittany's in there. At least I didn't say the other word.
It's okay.
So,
I forgive you.
I know. So, thank you for getting on. Once again, shout out to the museum and Brittany for letting us do this. Shout out to Cheatham, Lily Rouge, Southern Peach Champagne for sponsoring us. That's all we got. Happy New Year to everybody, and we will see y'all on the next episode.
G14 classified. That's good.
Headline, Starlight.
DJ Star.